But what do you think about the Dafeamekpor case? So he says that they filed a writ at the Supreme Court challenging the exclusive recognition of the Ghana Bar Association in Ghana's legal and constitutional framework. Now, it was a writ they filed on Tuesday, and it's invoking the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court under Articles 21 and 131 of the 1992 Constitution. That plaintiffs are arguing that the current GBA, which operates as a private voluntary association, should not be treated as the sole represented body of lawyers in the country. Oh, what do you make of this?
I think there are three or so legs that I'd like to look at this. First of all, the legal action is really the second or third stage. Okay. The media activity is the precursor. What the Dafeamekpor writ is seeking to do essentially is to reset the ideological position of the Ghana Bar Association, and that's going to be very difficult. There's a reason why. The Ghana Bar Association, or many bar associations for that matter, have certain principles and philosophies they stand for. They stand for human rights, fundamentally. They stand for fair trial. They stand for a judicial system that is independent of executive. Every bar association stands for that because these are lawyers, and that is their practice. And their practice will be compromised if there are no human rights, if there are no rules of courts that allow everyone to be heard and clear rules of courts, if there are no independent judges, their work will be jeopardized. Their work is also very important in shaping democracy. By reason of this, you have had all the bar associations of the world almost automatically aligning with right-wing political parties. Because these ethos also you will find fundamental to right-wing political parties, human rights, fundamental to right-wing political parties. Independence of the judiciary, fundamental to right-wing political parties. And all of those rights that the Ghana Bar Association fights for, it is also the rights that right-wing parties look at. So if you look at the Ghana Bar in particular, it makes it even worse. It was established way back, but its ethics and code documentation was in 1958. Think about 1958. It's 1 year after independence. Think about the struggles that led us to independence. Look at Ghana's situation in 1958 of a right-wing and a left-wing party. Who are the people who are dreaming up this Ghana Bar Association charter? JB Dankwa. And so it immediately polarizes the situation. What is the Ghana Bar Association going to look for? Human rights. What is the fundamental anti-human rights regulation in Ghana at the time? Preventive Detention Act. The Bar Association takes a major position against the PDA. Dankwa is arguing in court against the PDA. He's also president of the bar from 1962 and 1963. So the bar is positioned as if it is locking horns with the Nkrumah administration of the left. Okay, the coup comes in 1966. The bar is still there. Many of the important civilian actors in the coup are senior members of the bar. Akufo-Addo becomes Chief Justice. Olenu and all of these left, right-wing lawyers. They are Victor Owusu and others. These are important members of the bar throughout the 60s, Bosman and co., who are now part of the civilian part of the coup, sort of, and railroading Ghana into another constitutional establishment to be led by Buzia. So Buzia comes in, and then there's one or two brushes with the cases in court relating to the 578. And then comes the Buzia's overthrow, and it comes another left-wing military government running through the 70s. The Ghana Bar Association constitutes itself from 1974 towards 75, almost as an opposition to Akufo-Addo's Achampon's government. Dr. Obeda Samoa, people like Akufo-Addo and all that, were all in the parts of the PMFJ. That was largely propagated by the Ghana Bar Association. Right. Now you come crossover to the election and then to the 80s, Rawlings takes office. Rawlings is also left-leaning in appearance and is a military government. Again, for the whole decade, the Ghana Bar Association stands tall. And who are the members and the leaders of the Ghana Bar Association? Peter Ala-Ajete, president of the Ghana Bar. Later on, chairman of the New Patriotic Party. Samuel Okudzeto, member of the New Patriotic Party. Kwashi from Takoradi, another member of the New Patriotic Party. All of these people are principal political actors on the right side of the politics and are leading the bar. So again, the bar is seen as opposed to, sort of the... And then the NDC is born out of the PNDC. So NDC starts, and it looks like the bar is kind of against them and that kind of thing. Whilst I say this, I have to say, though, for Nana Akufo-Addo in 1995, that he was nominated and being asked to be president of the bar in 1995. He declined. His view of the matter was very similar to what Honorable is saying, that he's a politically exposed lawyer by leaps and bounds. and he doesn't want to be president of the bar after Ajete and Kunyi and all of these people, and so he's not interested because he's going to run for parliament and he'll be an MPP member of parliament. So that said, the people may not be frontline politicians, and that's the crisis. The people in the bar may not be frontline politicians, but by reason of Adom-Otchere, for instance, is a former Supreme Court judge. You can't say he's a frontline politician, even though he works for Samuel Kudje. So he's not a frontline politician. But if you can tell ideologically that he's more leaning towards right, maybe by reason of his legal practice, because for the legal practice to be successful, all those fundamentals must be in there, and these are the ethos that the right wing cries for. So what has happened, and you heard it in the press conference that, in the interview that Felix Ofosu-Kwakye gave to Bernard Avile earlier in the year, where he said that for 30 years, the courts have been against the NDC. This is a conversation. This is the kinds of things that have been established. The bar is always going to be seen as opposed to a left-wing government. It's everywhere in the world it's going to be. So what this rate is intending to achieve, and all the media, visiting acting chief judge intending to achieve, is a grand resetting of the ideology that underpins the Ghana Bar Association, and which, in fact, truly underpins bar associations all over the world. And that is why you saw the UK Council writing and taking similar positions as the Ghana Bar Association are taking, relating to the removal of the Chief Justice and all of these things. So it's a grand ideological reset that Dafeamekpor hopes to achieve, but it's going to be very, very difficult to achieve it, because I'm not sure why. Then there is another part of it which is fair. The payment of dues appears to have been monopolized by the Ghana Bar Association as a platform through which dues are paid, and is sanctioned by the General Legal Council. And so, as I understand it, if you're a practicing lawyer and you are not a member of the bar, or you don't pay through the bar, you might not even be able to renew your license.
Yes.
That is an important part that must be checked, because there is freedom of association according to the Constitution. And that General Legal Council is the one that makes people lawyers. The Ghana Bar Association does not make them lawyers. The General Legal Council does. And so once they have become lawyers, their obligation is to the certificates that they have, and the regulations that govern the certificates, which are regulations by the General Legal Council. If they have to necessarily be member of an organization to be able to achieve the things they have to achieve and make obeisance to the regulations as a lawyer, then that's almost, blackmail. You have to be a member of the Ghana Bar. And that may be where this expression is coming from. But ideologically, really, it's a reset that they are looking for. But I think that if that is true, relating to how lawyers must renew their license, then maybe they must check it and allow people to be. But it will be a tragedy if we're going to have 2 competing bars or 3 competing bar associations in Ghana.
The issue even goes beyond just renewal of licenses. There are issues about even stickers. Stickers. They say they are made to buy stickers. I mean, even though they pay their dues, every month.
Well, that's a levy for a contribution to the coffers, and they can discuss at their bar conferences and take a vote on it, whether they want it or not.
And then 2, they say every program that they organize, they charge them plenty money for them to pay before they attend, and they have a problem with that. They said they've complained several times.
But don't they have transparency in how the accounts are used?
I doubt.
But that's a problem.
That's a problem.
If there's no transparency in how the accounts are used, that's a real problem that must be looked at.
Yeah.
Because I can't see how an association of lawyers can be cheated.
Yeah.
That come and pay something and then nobody accounts for it. Association of lawyers?
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
So
No, Paul is right. I mean, the bar, the practice of law. No, it's not in a sense.
That's where he's coming from.
The practice of law is out of Western culture, Western civilization.
Right.
And now, and Western civilization has some underlying values and principles. And so, a bar association formed on that Western values will obviously toe a certain line. Okay. But as the world evolves and as the professions develop, one will expect that leaders of those professions and professional groupings will now take a life of their own and divorce themselves from the overbearing influence of other cultures and traditions. For instance, if you are a member of the Ghana Bar Association elected to be president, you must conduct yourself in such a way as to win the confidence of the people to represent their aspirations. And this is what we're not seeing in the bar. But the bar elected people who are aligned to new liberals or liberals in Ghana, I thought that is made. I mean, even this president of the Ghana Bar Association is the wife of the a distinguished member of the MPP.
All right.
And so it's made.
Okay.
But we are saying that the bar must be consistent. You know, when Kufuor won in 2000 and formed government in 2001, the bar association issued a very funny statement. They said they were not going to be involved in political debates or political. They were not going to comment on political issues.
Okay.
And everybody was taken aback. And people saw that because MPP was in power, the bar was distancing, was removing that check that it placed on the NDC in the Rawlings era.
Okay.
Again, when Nana Akufo-Addo was held to have breached the constitution by the Supreme Court, the bar did not comment.
Okay.
In the Dumuluvo case or in the Charlotte Osei case. Why was the bar uncannily silent? And so people are seeing, and then NDC wins, and immediately they have gone for their own ropes and wigs, and they are talking on top of their voices and saying things they ought to have said. When the Attorney General, Godfrey Dame, was said to have acted in the way that was unethical, did you hear a statement from the bar association? The leader of the bar association did not say anything. So,
but the courts have ruled on the Godfrey Dame matter.
But the court ruled. The court have ruled on the Tokono case. There are many cases, but the bar association had voice to talk about that.
Well, unless you feel that the court ruling was not satisfactory.
What I'm saying is that
it wasn't satisfactory, but the court ruled on it.
When a leader of the bar behaved in an ethical matter, that attracted the attention of the court. The bar association did not say anything. They didn't see anything wrong with that.
Should they have seen something wrong when the court ruling came out?
The court ruling came out.
Oh, the perception that they are anti-NDC.
Yeah, anti-NDC.
Ah, okay.
And sometimes I share in that.
The bar association.
The bar association.
Is it that the numbers or the leadership? What do you say the bar is against NDC? What do you mean? The leadership or the numbers of lawyers?
But bar association is an alter ego of the leadership. Oh, you don't see
okay, so you mean the leadership? But this leadership, is it not by voting? Do people not become leaders of the bar by elections?
So because they are neoliberals, they gather themselves and go and pass a resolution that the president should reverse. And nobody alluded to any constitutional provision that was breached by the president.
All right,
they talked about unfair trial. They talked about unfair trial.
Let me read this.